you said that when you came to India, you joined Colombia Asia. And in Colombia Asia, you found a path to self discovery. What was that self discovery that you found there?
Yeah. So all this time, as I was telling you, that it was continuously, life was just moving too fast. So studies and child, and then coming back to India, and my sisters were also getting settled at that time in their own life. So it was just one thing after the other. So never had time to sit back and say, okay, who am I? What do I want professionally or as a person? So that is when I started working in Colombia Asia. Of course, I started working as a physician, and I tried to bring in a concept called hospitalist or hospital
Hospitalist.
medicine
Okay.
concept in India. What I used to do in US, I kind of modified it for the Indian scenario, and we implemented it. So clinically, I was doing that work, and along the way, I started looking at processes, the systems, and
In administration.
in administration. So my mind was going towards that, and my seniors, my boss, and my mentors, they recognized that I was very good at this. So they encouraged me. They used to give me a lot of projects to do, whether it was auditing insurance cases, or whether it was streamlining something in Colombia Asia. So Colombia Asia was also new at that time, and we just had one running hospital.
When are we talking? What is the timeline we are talking about?
2007-8.
Very young, very young.
Yeah, yeah.
And you brought out the concept there.
Concepts, yeah. So NABH had just started in India 2005, and hospital started enrolling in NABH audit. So people like me who had worked in Western systems could bring in some of those value add to our Indian system at that particular point of time, because we worked there. We knew how JCI works, what are the systems you have to put in place, what are the process that you have to put in place. That kind of interested me. So like, this is very good. And I couldn't see myself just doing patient care, just managing diabetes, hypertension, dyslipidemia, this was like a cocktail, and it was the same all the time. The only change that we would see is like during fever season, you have some acute cases of cough, cold, fever, and dengue. But otherwise, this was like routine. Every day we were doing the same thing. So
This was like a
that is
breath
a
of
time.
fresh air.
Yeah, I know. That is a time that I also realized that I don't like this routine. I need challenge. I need to challenge myself all the time. So I thought like admin was giving me that challenge, because every day you're facing something new. Every day you have to strategize. Every day you have to plan. Every day you have to think ahead. And plan for the future, how to be ahead of everybody else in the business. So I think that was a very fertile ground for me. So that is how my thought process started evolving towards administration, and then I started taking little small responsibilities and projects, and my administrative journey started from there. And then along the way, I said I have to equip myself with knowledge as well, because I was developing skills on the job, but I needed the knowledge as well.
Yes, we'll come to that. Now, we as doctors, like I'm also a doctor, we are tuned to see patients. It is there in the system. The minute anyone says, "Mujhe khansi ho rahi hai," suddenly you know before they ask, you'll say, "Oh, why did you take this antibiotic?" So now you moved from a medical practitioner to an administrator. Didn't you feel like connecting both of them, or did you connect both of them?
Yeah, definitely I connected both of them. So being a doctor and being in an administrative field in a hospital definitely gives you that edge. So you are able to think from both the sides, and you're able to make those changes, and you are in a position of authority where you can bring in those changes. And you're not just talking about it, but you're doing it, and you have to do it, because if you have to be a good administrator. So converting those problem statements to solutions, and implementing those solutions at the grassroots level, is something that I could see as an administrator.
Right.
So it was
So you
very
married
satisfying.
both of them like
Yes,
this,
yes,
you
yes.
married the patient care and the administration together.
Definitely.
Wow. And in that journey, you also started reading about and doing certification in finance, in medical laws, and etc., etc., you name it. And that maybe because of your habits.
Yes, because of my habit, of course, because I always like to learn
more.
and like to keep myself engaged. And I'm also a very focused learner. Like I don't just read random books, random things. So if I want to, there is something that I'm reading. There is a purpose to it.
Right.
So purpose-driven reader.
Okay.
So that is how I put it.
So you wanted to learn about finance
Learn about
and administration and everything.
Yes, what the hell is hospital administration? I had no idea. How do
because
you
you were a
run hospital? I
physician,
was a physician. I would just go do my rounds,
Right.
see my patients, prescribe. That was my life. I had no idea what goes on behind the
thing,
scenes.
yes.
So how does a medical administrator work? What is quality? What are these KPIs? What are these KRAs?
I know
what
these
is
are jargons at that time for a doctor.
revenue, EBITDA, COGS, DSO days, like everything was like going above my head.
Yeah.
So I had to, whenever I used to sit in the administrative meetings, I would make a note of all these jargons, come back home and then read about them. Read about them, and that's how I kind of got into MBA and then medical law and ethics,
Oh my
and
God.
then
Everything you did,
and then medical quality, and
more
loads and loads of certificates. Certificates. So it was not only like I wanted to develop as a holistic person, not just focused on one area or the other.
Right.
So I also studied a lot of leaders. So what does this leader do? So that was another habit of mine which has greatly helped me. I was crazy about reading people's stories. Whoever they are, whatever their position they are in, if they are very good, it could be a film star, or it could be a political leader, or it could be somebody in the corporate world, or it could be a doctor. I would grab any material that I would get and read about them, their thought process. Why did they do what they did? How did they evolve as a person? How did they make themselves able to do that job?
Right.
So everywhere I could figure out that if you have to grow and if you have to become a good leader, you have to grow holistically. It is not one thing or the other. You have to be good in your core subject. I have to keep in touch with my medical protocols. There is no question about it. So there are changing guidelines for managing diabetes. There are changing guidelines in managing hypertension. I cannot. I don't know everything, but I have to know what is important. As a physician, I need to know that.
Right.
And of course, as an administrator, I need to know more. I need to know about OBG. I need to know about surgery. I need to know about. Of course, I will not know to the extent of OBG gynecologists know about their subject.
But you should know
But
about
I need to know certain things which are red flags. Red flags
the norms
in
the administration.
The norms in the administration, because I need to speak that language with the doctors.
Right.
Otherwise, they will not be able to relate to me. They will not be able to connect with me. So I need to know, because as an administrator or as a business person, you know that you have an internal customer and you have an external customer, right? So the internal customers for us is our doctors, is our administrative staff, is our nursing staff. These are all our customers, internal customers. I need to speak their language. I need to understand them, and I need to empathize with them, and I need to see how I can help them as an administrator. And external customers are, of course, our patients. So I need to, connect with them as well. So your core knowledge has to be there. So a lot of times what happens when doctors graduate to become administrators, they miss out on clinical knowledge.
Yes, absolutely true. They just enter that stream of being a head on the medical administration.
Yeah, but it is very important to keep in touch with the medicine, which is your core strength and the core knowledge. And of course, as administrative skills, and then comes the other skills like communication skills, presentation skills, and how you speak, how how you communicate. The same thing you can communicate in two different ways, and either you convey the message or you kind of create more problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
So balancing all those things you have to learn. Some of it is natural, but many of it you need to sharpen those skills.